gentlemen, welcome to the first ever podcast recording of what are we? Ninecast. The Ninecast. The Ninecast. Yeah.
Yes. Almost had a little hiccup there.
We're super awesome. Believe it.
Oh yeah.
Naruto quotes. No, not a good thing.
Not here.
So we have decided that I am your host. I will introduce myself first. I am your host, Agatosh, aka Maxspaz, and I am joined by my co-host,
who doesn't have a Skyrim and Elder Scrolls name, but most people just call me Riph.
Is Talos.
Thank you. Sure, Talos it is.
Is it Talos, or are you gonna be like Debella?
I'm gonna be.
Because you're a pretty boy or something.
Yeah. Riph will do.
Right, so, anyway, some of you may actually know us from things like the best Left 4 Dead players ever, and like to those people we say hello again.
Yes, hello if you find this channel.
Yeah, it was a good fun run we had with that, but in the end we had problems within the group and we had to split off, and but that's neither here nor there, and
yeah, nothing serious. Let's just put it that way. Nothing serious happened. Just things happened. We all moved on. Sorry.
Anyways, this is the Ninecast now, and we are here about Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online is the big MMO coming out. Like, takes influences from all over. Like, really a lot of, like cutting-edge technology from things like, Guild Wars and, other things. Like, lots of good ideas, from all the other MMOs. Fixes some of the things we didn't like about those ideas, and just spreads this beautiful layer of Elder Scrolls right over it.
Oh yeah, as you can see right now,
delicious little cake.
As you can see right now, I am for this podcast, so you don't have to look at a bland picture. I'm playing some Skyrim, and Max doesn't see this, but there's an Elder Dragon in Whiterun, and I'm fighting it right now.
Oh ho!
Yes.
Right. Well, that I'm sure that'll look fun to everybody. But
oh yeah, watch me fail. But yes, anyway.
The most important thing to start with in something like this, I suppose, would be with what Elder Scrolls actually is. Now, for those of you who don't know, Elder Scrolls is a series steeped in a very rich lore, and the lore spans,
very rich lore.
The lore spans like thousands upon thousands of years. So there's a lot of events that and quite a few games based around those events. Not all the content you see in the lore actually comes from the games. A lot of it will be featured in books within the games, but a lot of the content is actually like custom made too, for the lore and those times and stuff. So the games don't actually tell you everything. There are other people who make lore series on YouTube, and we are not exactly going to do that. We will have a separate show dedicated to book readings, which you can actually request.
That'll be fun. If anyone requesting, I do have the Lusty Argonian made back at my run home. If you want us to read that, then we'll happily read that.
A popular one.
Yes, but anything else, I'll be happily read it. And if you don't have it, let us know, and I can find the book. There's always places where I can look.
Yeah. But so live book readings and fun stuff like that. But right now, we're talking about what the Elder Scrolls is. It started out way back in like the 1993 or something. Yes.
Somewhere along that line, yeah.
So it started out as, like a, I don't know, MS-DOS game or something. And,
It wasn't well known. It had like, I think it was like the name they called it was Elder Scrolls Orcs and Elves or something.
Arena or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Very first game they came out with. It wasn't really popularized until Morrowind. Morrowind came out.
A lot of people were really fascinated with Elder Scrolls 2.
Really?
Yeah, they loved it completely at the time. Hell, if I could play it at the time, I would love to, but I was more of an Ultima fan at the time, when the Elder Scrolls was around.
Huh. Okay. Well, we start our journey at Morrowind. In Morrowind, Riph, you played it.
Yeah, I didn't own an Xbox at the time, but I got the PC version. Because it appeared on the original Xbox.
Okay. Now, in Morrowind, it featured a really solid, immersive feel into a lot of the things. Like, you actually would, pull out your hand and you would put a lockpick into whatever you were going to be unlocking, but that's basically what the Elder Scrolls has always been about, is immersion. And immersion is like it's an immersive RPG experience. Very strong RPG experience.
Oh yeah.
It's probably one of the best RPGs that have series that has ever been created. Like, really? And I know everybody's just like, oh, they say that about whatever, but no, I think this really qualifies. It's
well, my scripting college teacher loved it. So at the time when I was in college, Elder Scrolls Oblivion came out, and I actually owned a 360 at the time, and of course, me being the idiot I was, didn't have any good games for it until I heard about the Elder Scrolls 4 coming to it. I was excited, but I was wondering, could they capture what they caught with Morrowind? Because Morrowind was very in-depth. You could do pretty much a lot in Morrowind. And yes, if you wanted to, you could beat the game in 5 minutes flat. No joke. But anyway,
the game in 5 minutes flat, slaughter all the civilians so that you can't beat the game and get the quests. But who cares? Because you can just run around and just level up off little monsters for the rest of the game, and the world looped on itself, so that was kind of neat. So there was no actual boundaries in Morrowind, like invisible walls and stuff. They did have these in the later games, Oblivion and Skyrim, but it was a long, big places. These are big places in these games, but they had a lot of rich lore to them. They had a lot of rich content to them. They had a lot of immersive experiences. You would feel like you could live in these worlds. And an MMO has never really, given that kind of immersive experience into its fullest before. And that is why we are super excited about Elder Scrolls Online. It is because we are seeing a blend of two different genres, completely different. Like you hear MMORPG and everybody's just like, oh, well, that's the, that means that MMOs are already, RPG-like and stuff. And maybe there's aspects in MMOs, but
they got there. They're just about reaching that kind of genre of MMOs. Not a lot of them have actually implemented the RPG features. Guild Wars 2, yeah, granted, it was a good MMO. A lot of people loved it, and it brought a lot of people away from World of Warcraft for so long that the Old Republic couldn't do.
Yeah. the Old Republic, that one.
I was suckered in.
We're not worried about that right now, though.
No.
We can't just freaking sit here and bash other MMOs. That's
I'm
not
not
how
saying the
this
Old
works.
Republic wasn't a bad game. It just people thought it was the WoW killer, but then when people went to when a lot of I think
Everything's the WoW killer.
about 2
Everything's
million
been the WoW
I think
killer.
2 million people that played WoW switched to the Old Republic, and then they switched back to WoW because they felt it didn't feel immersive enough.
The thing about World of Warcraft is that there's so much content that you can really feel that immersion. But now we are adding a different layer on top of just content. We are talking about actual physical interaction in, well, not necessarily in the sense of like, you know, VR and stuff, but
No.
your character will be interacting with the world much more heavily than he would in other games. Like, you can probably walk into somebody's house, if they're not like major quest givers, kill them, just take all their stuff. But you know, it's and unfortunately there's not going to be a crime system at launch, but either way, you know, it's going to be
The crime
it's gonna
system will get
all
added
come
eventually.
together eventually.
Yeah. Yes, the crime system will be added eventually. There's a lot of things that they're not going to add during launch.
This is not. You can't add everything during launch when you have people clamoring like this to try and get into the game. Everybody wants in. Everybody wants in. Like there's crowds from MMOs. The MMO crowd wants in. The RPG crowd wants in. The Elder Scrolls in general crowd wants in. And I think a lot of people are really putting this up again on the pedestal of WoW Killer. But you know, that remains to be seen.
Honestly, who would care? Because WoW's been around for years and it's still not improved what it needs to do.
Well, I mean, you can't just change the core mechanics of a game. Like it's not like they could update to like the you know, technological advances that we have today. There's just no real way. I mean, the game was made way back in the day. You know, it was made to be the best generic MMO ever created, and so I certainly think they managed to accomplish that. But again, that's neither here nor there. We are talking about ESO.
Yes,
So
ESO focused.
as to talk about ESO, let's start with the lore of ESO. Let's start with what exactly we are trying to accomplish in the game. Now, you see, right now there's a section of the continent known as Tamriel. There's a section of the continent of Tamriel right in the middle of all of Tamriel, and it is called Cyrodiil. And Cyrodiil is being absolutely like messed up around this period of time. Emperors are dying, like you know, people who are taking over for emperors are dying. It's just a mess. And, you know, like, the people sitting on the throne right now are extremely corrupt, and just problem after problem is happening here. But what really, you know, last straw is that the people in charge of the throne right now, the Tharn family, they team up with Metamarco, who is this really powerful necromancer. Okay, and necromancy is very frowned upon in the Mages Guild, and so he was sort of kicked out of the Mages Guild, I believe, right, Riph?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Metamarco teams up with Molag Bal. Molag Bal is a Daedric prince. Daedric princes are
Bad.
like the devil, you know? Like these guys are not cool, and they're a cause for many problems that have existed throughout Tamriel. Like, they have caused so much grief and stuff, and they have special items that they give to mortals, and these mortals just go crazy with power half the time. But they're basically dark gods.
Yeah, pretty much they're bad news.
The Daedra are basically dark gods, and they are very dangerous, and you're not actually supposed to worship them unless, like, your entire race does so, I guess, because some people are a bit more tolerant when, like, an entire race is... I don't think so, actually. I think this is the cause of great... Daedra worship is the cause of great conflict. So, in all honesty, I think the orcs are Daedra worshippers. They worship Malachi or something.
Well, a lot of races do worship certain Daedric princesses, because...
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember
how
many of them. There's so many.
Elves worship a Daedra. The Dark Elves worship Daedra. The Orcs worship Daedra. The
Necromancers from various forms. Imperials worship them.
Imperials in this case, but during, like, the... You know what? We're getting way into lore and stuff here. We're getting off track. So, let's try and really let you know more about the game. Okay, let's start with races.
And just to let everyone know, this isn't Elder Scrolls Online we're playing. It's Skyrim.
Yes.
Because a lot of people do get this confused, because ever since they released some new gameplay footage, they brought back the first-person view, which a lot of people were complaining that they wanted back, and of course ZeniMax, I believe, is the developers of this game.
Yeah.
They answered everyone's calls and be like, okay then, we'll add back the first-person view. And I'm glad they did. I'm really glad they did.
It's really good for immersion, and actually is surprisingly effective in terms of, like, PvP and actual combat in the game. And we'll get into that in another video probably. But for now, we're back to races.
Yes.
Alright, so let's start with the races. The races are the Bosmer Wood Elves, the High Elves, the Khajiit,
Argonians, the Nords, the Imperials, the Bretons, the Red Guards.
You want to take it? You want to go ahead?
Oh,
Keep
no,
going.
I'm fine. Just trying to remember them all. The Orcs as well.
The Orcs, the Bretons, the Red Guard.
The Red Guard, yep.
And
the Wood Elves. The Imperials.
These,
Sorry, go ahead.
Repeating things now.
Well, we lost track, so continue.
So the races are the... No, I'm not going to repeat it. I'm sure you guys heard it. Anyways, the races are all split into separate alliances at the moment. In this point in history, the races are all split into separate alliances. Each one wants to claim Cyrodiil for a different reason. But I highly doubt that.
No, they want.
They probably all just want to be emperor.
They all want. They all want the Imperial City. They all want to be emperor. That's all it is.
Yeah. Like, everybody's like saying no. Like the Altmerry Dominion, which is the elves and the Wood Elves, the High Elves, and the Khajiit. They're saying things like, "No, we can't let the foolish humans take control and screw everything up again," and we're just kind of like, oh, well, we want to dominate trade, and no, what it is there's the Dominion, the Altmerry Dominion, which is an alliance of the, as I said, the Khajiit, the High Elves, and the Bosmer, the Wood Elves, and the High Elves are in charge over there. All right, there's this one. There's currently the faction leader for them is this High Elf woman by the. If you know this, actually, I always get the name. I always script the name for the other two factions.
Well, they're usually named after the after the faction that they're in. But who is it? Is it the Aldmeri, the Daggerfalls, or the Ebonhearts?
The Altmer.
The Altmers.
Very dumb. I can't believe I have to look this up.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know if you were explaining that or you were just talking about a specific alliance. The three alliances that are in the game is the Daggerfall Covenant. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are Daggerfall Covenant.
We're gonna be Daggerfall
I know
Covenant.
we're kind of embarrassing the crap out of ourselves right now, but and we're probably going to have to work on presenting our episodes a little bit better. But we have a really badass Daggerfall Covenant guild. And we'll talk about that a bit later.
Yes, well, links and everything we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah. But let's see here.
But also we should explain. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Queen Erin. Iron.
How do you say it? How do you spell it?
Ayren.
Ayren. Ewen? Aaron? Iron?
Yeah, her.
That one.
And she is in charge of the Dominion, okay? And she's going to take over the White Gold Tower in Cyrodiil and rule as empress, so that no longer will the will of man cause conflict in Tamriel. Now, this is coming from people who, you know, owned slaves and had countless rebellions against them, but yeah, that's cool too. Next, we'll talk about the Ebonheart Pack, the other guild that we are not all that, you know, friendly with. The Ebonheart Pack is actually led by the factions in there are Nords, and the other factions are Dark Elf and Argonian. They are currently being led by a Nord, and his name is.
I know he had Eben and his name. He
Yep.
I think he almost closely named himself after his alliance. I thought it was like King Emmerich or something. I believe his name was.
No, Emmerich.
Emmerich's Daggerfall. No, my bad.
Here we are, the Joran the Scald King. Wow. You know, actually, I don't think it'd be terrible to serve that guy. but cool name aside, Joran the Scald King is basically just this is a loose alliance. Like the Ebonheart Pact is
It's a weird alliance.
Like these guys are all enemies. Period. They've been on friendly terms for maybe 20 minutes.
They were like, oh hey, some Daedric prince has just come along and kind of causing some ruckus up at Cyrodiil. Wanna help?
This is not the kind of alliance that lasts past the conflict that triggers it, but you know, there they are. The Nords are in charge with their Joran the Skull King, and God, that's so cool. But
Well, you want me to put a friggin' print screen of concept art of
Joran the Skull King.
You want me to put some concept art in here somewhere?
Yeah, why not? We should do that.
Just plop a random picture of him right there and be like, look at him! Look at him!
But no, don't look at him. He's not part of the Daggerfall Covenant,
No,
which
he's
is the
not.
final alliance of the three. There's only 3 alliances that take place, and they encompass every other region of the Tamriel. Every other region of Tamriel. And they're all fighting for White Gold. Yep, White Gold Tower and all that. But the Daggerfall Covenant. And we were drawn to these guys because of they have orcs. They have Bretons, who are basically mage humans, like really good wizards and stuff.
I played a
They've
Breton.
got Red Guards.
I
The
played a
orcs are
Breton.
very good smiths and warriors, and the Red Guards are like the best warriors. you just like this horde of Red Guard came off the freaking coast of Hammerfell in the early First Era, and they just freaking raped all the way across Hammerfell, and nobody can stop them. But they're really badass, and the Daggerfall Covenant is led by High King Emmerich.
That's who I was saying before, yeah.
Yes,
Emmerich.
that is exactly who you were saying before.
He's a Breton, I believe.
He is a Breton, and he is all about, and it's that this alliance is all about obtaining solid trade routes again, and really unifying the kingdom again, and we want to be super badass.
We won our part.
If you
That's
could
pretty much-
chime in anytime you want, man. I told you to do some research too.
I have been doing a lot of research, but it's kind of hard when you're fighting things and talking at the same time.
Uh-huh. One land, one emperor. That's what's going on, man. It's,
And that's... Should we talk about the whole Emperor business that they've implemented into the game?
Sure. That's the next subject we will talk about. Is PvP. It involves in...
Yes. If all you don't know, Cyrodiil is a PvP area.
PvP zone entirely. Now,
It
that's
is.
not to say you can't do PvE things in there, but you have to be looking over your shoulder.
You really do, and you don't want to get kind of assassinated by the other races that are in Cyrodiil, because there's one thing that every single person wants. The ultimate prize that they're adding to the Elder Scrolls Online, and I don't know how fast or how quick you're going to get this title, but if you're lucky enough, you participate in a 500 battle. That's what the developer said during an interview.
No.
Honestly, I don't think it will be 500. I think it's going to be close to 200.
I think it's going to be
This is what he
200
said. This is what he said.
100 people on inside the keep and 100
A 200
trying
v
to
200
take
v
it.
200. That's what he said. This is from a recent interview from another YouTube.
Really?
Someone interviewed him, and he said they were aiming for a 500 battle in Cyrodiil. But honestly, I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll just be more 200 battle. But these are just one of the major battles between all 3 alliances.
They're shooting for the moon, but I just hope that this thing's not gonna be super laggy, because basically in Cyrodiil there are keeps, and the main part of PvP is the taking of these keeps. Now, if you want to take a keep, you're probably better off starting with taking the resources around the keep, which are mines, farms, mills, things like that, and you take control of them and you severely weaken the keep. and that's so a lot of combat's actually going to go on around those when people want to try and stop you from taking the keep. So a lot of combat's going to be based around the resources, but the most important part of it is going to be like
Yes.
how you defend your keep, and like how do you stop them from taking the resources, and how do you make sure you have enough troops there in case they switch their target directly towards the keep. It's going to be a balancing act right there, and people are going to find it pretty difficult at first, I think. You see in the trailers and stuff, it's just people charging at the keep with catapults and bringing down the walls and stuff. Bringing down the wall with these catapults may not be the best option, because then you have a keep. Let's say you take the keep and you brought down the wall to get the keep. You've got a keep that does not have that wall. That wall is gone from that keep, so, if someone comes in behind you and is like, yeah, we want to take it back. Well, okay.
Sure.
The wall's down still, guys. You are assholes.
No. But, as I was trying to say before, there is one goal in Cyrodiil, and the ultimate prize, if any of your alliance gets it, is one lucky player will become the Emperor. Or the Empress, if you're...
Now, this is not just the case, not just one. There's going to be an Emperor for every instance of Cyrodiil. Now, this is important to note, that Cyrodiil is going to be based upon different instances. So you're not having like a million people in a single Cyrodiil, and you're just having these ridiculous Zerg fests. No, I think they said they wanted to go something like 2,000 people in a single instance of Cyrodiil, and they're going to try and match you up based on your based on your guild and the people in your guild and your the alliances that your guild has and stuff like that. So they're gonna be trying to pair you up with the people you know first before they try and pair you up with other things, like people are interested in PvP and stuff like that. So it's but this goes to the mega server now, actually.
The mega server. The mega server.
We're talking about all this stuff, and I guess we'll have to get most of it in more detail, like in later videos. But for now, we'll just say that the mega server is a sort of just a really powerful server, I guess, with that's very channel based.
Yeah, the way they talked about it is once you start the game, you're immediately just brought into the game. There's no ifs, or buts.
Supposedly there's a questionnaire to try and put you in the right phase. So there's phasing involved in the mega server, like a lot of phasing involved with the mega server. And so they want to try and put you in the right phase. Again, they're going to take into consideration your guild and your friends and the people you know, and they're going to try and put you in with them first. But there's also going to be things like, do you want to be with people who are very PvP centric, very PvE centric, people who want to do a lot of role playing. So there's a lot to the mega server that we won't really get into right now, but it's supposedly badass.
Well, they say it is. We don't know because we're not in the game yet.
And then again, we want to remind people who are in the game that there is such a thing as NDA, and if we were in the game, we could not tell you.
We will not be able to, yeah, because...
We could not tell you if we were in the game testing it right now. So
you have to put up with this instead.
This is, it's a very real thing, NDA, though. Like, you really can't...
No, I've had MMOs that I've had to actually sign an agreement when I go and participate into the beta not to disclose any information about the game, nor live stream it, or upload it anywhere. I can't even tell anybody.
Well,
That's
but in the end, it's important for the developer to be able to release content according to what they feel they're ready to release, and we really need to respect that. So
we have
always read the NDAs, and if you manage to get into closed betas, and always follow through with the requests and stuff.
Exactly.
It's not like they're asking a lot. They're just asking you to. I know. Everybody's just kind of like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I'm exploding here. I need to freaking tell everybody how awesome this was. But it's important. It's an important thing to remember, and it's an important thing to follow.
Oh yeah, it has to be done. But don't worry. Eventually, the good news.
Open beta and.
Yep. We won't know an exact date of open beta. We know if you've ever watched the E3 press conferences or watched the E3 shows or show floors, they were talking about an open beta being released on the PS4, if you were lucky to own yourself a PS4. It's going to be an exclusive beta just for the PS4 itself, which I'm jealous.
Yeah. Me and Riph are, at least currently, we're going to be on PC, so we'll be playing with PC and Mac players.
Yeah. And that's another thing, if you own a Mac, you can't play the game. They're actually giving you a Mac release.
That is pretty sweet.
It is really nice of them to do that. Where are you going, Skellen? Come back here.
Anyways, the Mega server's cool. We talked about the Mega server. We talked about the ESO lore a little bit. Let's go back to the ESO lore, though. So what we were saying about it is that Mana Marco is being hired by the Tharn family, who a very corrupt family, and basically they're saying to Mana Marco, and the Tharn family is in charge of Cyrodiil at the moment, and they're saying to Mana Marco, build us an army of like undead soldiers to bolster our forces against the other alliances that are gathering around us. And so Mana Marco would do just that, but in secret he would work with Molag Bal, who plans to basically drag all of Tamriel into his realm of his Oblivion realm called Cold Harbor. Now, Cold Harbor's nasty ass place. Molag Bal wants to drag us in there and enslave our souls, and just really, really bad guy. And everybody, all the other alliances are trying to stop.
That's putting it simply. Molag Bal, very bad man. Or bad demon. He no good. Do not deal with him.
You don't really want to deal with Daedra too much at all, actually.
Well, unless you want their epic loot. I mean...
I swear, you say that, but really, Azura is called one of the is considered one of the good Daedra, and she's actually concerned for the well-being of her worshippers and stuff like that, and she's actually considered an all-around nice gal, but
Did the
But
other
at the same
Daedras just
time-
kind of shun her because she was such a nice gal?
Yeah, seriously, she's actually considered an enemy to some other Daedra. But, basically, she, her enchanted item, her super special item that you can get in quests and stuff in the various games, her item is the, the Star of Azura, which is this infinite black soul gem. I think, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think it could even trap human souls. I'm not sure. I have to look that up again, but that's freaking messed up. Okay, like for the nicest lady in the entire group, she's just like, here, trap all the souls you want in this thing. And I'm like, ah. That's a little screwy right there, but you know, the Daedra are very different from one another, and they have conflicts amongst themselves as well. And
We'll discuss
we're not
that some other
we're
time.
not actually a lore. We're not actually a lore thing. We just want to give you the background on what's happening in ESO. But anyways, Molag Bal is using dark anchors to raise Tamriel to his realm of Cold Harbor and enslave all of.
Oh wait, no. I thought he was
souls.
bringing. No. I thought he was bringing Cold Harbor to them.
No, I think it's the other way around.
I thought that's what I heard. I thought he was bringing Cold Harbor.
No, that's not the case. He was actually trying to drag Tamriel into Cold Harbor. But basically, what it is, the way the game starts out is your soul is actually taken by Molag Bal, and this is actually used as a sort of. This is actually used as how they reference why you can't actually die, and you know you get resurrected all the time. Like they say, because you have no soul, you can't actually die.
So there won't be a death penalty then.
Yeah, which means Molag Bal keeps on, making no death penalties, and Molag Bal keeps on making these immortal heroes that want to kill him and get their souls back. So I'm not entirely sure why he thought this was a good plan, but whatever works. I suppose we'll find out when the game is actually released.
Oh yeah.
But the whole plan here is the whole main story. All right, there's lots of side quests and stuff, and actually it's called distraction questing. I think it's called like a distraction quest gameplay. There's like there's hubs. There's major hubs and cities and stuff where you can get lots of quests and stuff, and you just run out and do those. But there's quests everywhere. Guys just wandering around out in the middle of a forest. Guys sitting in some freaking dungeon somewhere. Guy in a cave, just kind of like looking all moldy and rotten, and he's just like, "Do you have potion?" like little things like that and more. Just.
Spare a coin?
Yeah.
Give me 1 gold and I will spend it on nothing. You will get nothing in return. It's just a kind offer.
But the main quests. So that's the way the game's actually set up. Is it's got lots of things to do, lots of content, and exploring is greatly rewarded. But the main quest, which normally takes place in Cold Harbor itself, I believe, is going to be single player only. Okay, I believe this was confirmed. It's single player only, so you will play the main quest by yourself, and it's going to. Oh yeah, Riph?
Yeah, they're story based. I think you were meaning. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. They're story based missions.
So
There's 2 forms of missions that they said: the story base and the the group based for your alliance.
Yeah. So, anyways, the main story will be us trying to figure out why Molag Bal took our soul and trying to get it back. But we all know that the real main story is our rise to being emperor.
That is pretty much it.
That's the real main story. We are going to get into PvP, and we are going to just start wrecking house. Now, this is an interesting fact about PvP, and I suppose I should be kind of saving this for another video, but we are all buffed to level 50, and we are all given, we're all buffed to, like, level 50, like, our stats-wise. Our skills remain the same as when we walked into Cyrodiil, but when you walk in, you are not actually, like, a complete loser. You can get in there, and you can compete on a similar level to the higher-ups and people who've been playing longer and stuff. You are not actually gonna be rolling over and dying. You're gonna get some good hits in.
Which is really nice of them to do.
Oh yeah, this is an excellent feature because it's so PvP centric. Like, it's such a major part of the game to want to become emperor and to have your guilds and your factions and everything. You want to conquer these keeps because it's just, first off, it's going to be fun. Like, there's at least going to be 100 people on this side and 100 people on this side, and like, storming the keep is going to be just so much fun. Probably going to be a lot of death unless you've weakened the keep first, but, No death penalties, so that should be fine, I guess.
That should be fine.
I think that different tactics required for, like, really effectively taking a keep will keep from constant Zergfests too. So tactics information may become, like, absolutely essential, and that would be excellent to see. Yes,
it is, and it's mine.
Let's see what else is there to talk about.
I think we've almost discussed what we wanted to talk about: the lore, the bit of the game, gameplay-wise, PvP,
gameplay.
the races.
Actually, we didn't talk much about gameplay.
Well, pretty much, it plays like an Elder Scrolls game.
It was heavily taken from Skyrim, like the actual combat. Like Riph mentioned earlier, that first person is in the game now. Proper Elder Scrolls first person.
Yeah, because it originally was going to be a third-person game only, but then a lot of people were complaining, and they wanted their first-person view, and so they took it into consideration and said, okay, then we'll give them a first-person view.
However, the first-person view was actually pretty crappy and didn't actually feature any hands or anything like that, and so people complained again, and then they put in, like,
hands.
They put in hands, weapons, and, all the things. They made it look proper in terms of Elder Scrolls. Like,
yes,
it's a very Skyrim look feeling thing now, and your attacks feel right. You're very, very good for the immersion factor, and luckily we don't actually have to equip a spell to the hand to use it this time. And I know that was a lot of people.
What about active skills? Should we explain about active skills?
A little bit, I guess. Skills in this game are everywhere. Now, this is the one thing that will really separate you from the other people in PvP is the skills you have access to. Like, your level will be normal, and you'll be able to get in there, you'll be able to get your hits, but the skills that you have access to may be inferior to what these guys have access to. Now, the skills are everywhere. Skills are on every single thing you do. There's a skill tree for your race. There's a skill tree for your class. There's a skill tree for your weapon, your armor, if you join the Mages Guild, the Fighters Guild, if you can become a werewolf or a vampire. It's just everything that you do has a skill tree. So, you will be able to really customize yourself.
Oh yeah, there's also passive skills as well,
Yes,
which gives you buffs and debuffs. That's what makes it into an MMO. There's the MMO aspect of the game right there. The passive skills.
There are classes. I just mentioned that there are classes, and a lot of people will think to yourself, "Oh, well, that's going to be so limiting." But no, these are very open-ended classes, and you will be able to make your battle mage, and he will be able to be effective. I assure you.
Yes, I believe you can customize a class in any way you desire as well. You don't have just to stick to one person unless you want to be that one person. As I want to be a battle mage. I want to be just a full-out tank. I want to just be a full-out magic user. I want to be a healer. I want to be an archer. I want to be an assassin. They'll give you that option, and I believe you can switch whenever you feel like it.
As a matter of fact, you can. This is another thing I wanted to say for another video, but I'll just say it real quick, and we can get into it in more detail later on. There is weapon switching, and this is a way to change your loadout. This is a way to change your skill loadout, like on the fly. So you can weapon switch in combat and change your skills in combat if those skills are on your hotbar. The weapon skills are on your hotbar.
Oh yeah. Think of it as what you do in Skyrim, a favorite bar, and you can just switch between battle whenever you feel like it. Something like that. But that's nothing really new, but it's a good little feature to have.
Right. Anyways, I
think we've discussed everything.
Well, okay then. We'll wrap this up, I suppose, by talking about our guild and what new content you can expect to this channel and things like that. We really want to try and enforce. We really want to try and bring this channel to make it a really solid channel, and we're gonna have different shows. Like I said before, we're gonna have the book reading shows.
Yes.
Did we say that before?
We said it, I believe, in the start.
Okay.
We will do book reading.
Yeah, we're gonna have book reading shows,
and if anyone wants to request a specific book that they would like to be read, just leave a comment or an IM, mostly a comment. That way we can find it and read it for you.
You can message us on. You can message us at our email. We provide that. You can message us at our forum for our guild. You can message us at the on this channel. So those 3 locations, and we'll get back to you pretty quickly.
Yes, and yes, the guild. Our guild is going to be called the Lions of High Rock.
This is yes.
This is the guild that we have decided.
We are a Daggerfall guild.
A Daggerfall guild. Yes, we're going to be part of the Daggerfall Covenant, and we'll provide a link in the description that you can join. It's free, of course.
Yes, there's. We're not like. I don't know. Is there somebody doing that? Are people freaking
Oh, I bloody hope not.
To join their guild?
I bloody hope not.
Oh my god, man! What are you?
That's a bit low. If
That's much. Oh my god. I mean, maybe big guilds, like Guild Umbra or something. I mean, those big scary guilds.
Oh, Umbra, yes.
I know that they freaking just. Oof. Those guys are hardcore. We're semi-hardcore. We have hardcore elements to our guild. We are pretty serious about PvP. We have a lot of it can be found out in our FAQ, and you can just look up the FAQ and see a lot of things that we're about, and a lot of things that that won't be mentioned here. But we really want to have everybody feel welcome and comfortable, but at the same time, we really want to be Emperor. So, so if you could make me Emperor, I'd be so happy.
Which will be a 1 to 100% chance that'll happen.
Yeah, I know, dude. Seriously, I don't think I'm going to be the Emperor because it's actually based on how you in particular perform among your alliance for that phase of Cyrodiil. So.
Yes. But anyway, I think we could wrap it up here.
Well, hang on a sec. I still want to talk a little bit more. Like I said, you can access our guild from the About section of our channel, and we will have links.
Yep, links will be in the
description, and we will have we will be taking questions about anything, and we will be answering them in this in this main video. So by all means, if you guys have questions about anything that you specifically want us to answer, we will look into it, and we will we will get the answers for you. And actually, what we're going to do at the same now, we are going to start live casting this show. Right today, we just wanted to get the introductions out of the way, share a little bit about the game with you, and tell you what's in store for the future of this channel and the guild. And we are going to start live streaming these shows from now on, so you will be able to join us at the live stream, and we will answer your questions live, and we will actually try to bring in special guests and stuff, and
if we can, yes,
yeah,
definitely.
We want to really have a we want to really have a good live experience with you guys. We want to have a good immersive experience with you guys.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But
we need to we also are going to have a lore series based around. We will have a lore series, but it will not be based around the actual Elder Scrolls lore per se, but rather it's going to be based around our guild's events in our guild is projecting itself into the Elder Scrolls lore, and it's going to have the events that we took part in and stuff like that. It's going to be basically a guild lore.
Yes.
That follows the Elder Scrolls tales from a safe distance.
Okay. I believe that's everything we can discuss in this episode.
Let's see. I guess.
Okay, well, we can end it here then. And for those of you who got this far into the video,
I wonder how long we've been running for, actually.
Oh, we won't know until we'll see. But for those of you who got this far into the video, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
We'll try to be a little more organized next time, I guess.
I guess. Well, first episodes are always like this.
We're
bear with us.
We really, we want to hear from you guys, though, and we want to know what you think and what you would like us to do and what you want us to what questions you want us to answer and all sorts of things like that. We want lots of guild feedback if we can get that. We want people to really get. We want to really get involved with you guys in the community, and we want to really enjoy our time leading up to
the release.
The release with everyone. So,
Yes.
by all means, let us know what you want to talk about, and let us know how you feel about what we're talking about.
Exactly. So I think we can end it here. So to everyone that's just joined us, thank you for being here, and to the ones that know us before, it's nice to be back.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Yep, we will see you all in another show. Take care.